mobile or on their internet, but nothing, I can tell you, nothing was more spectacular than watching Krishna's pastimes. Even now you can watch it on Little Krishna. Some of you kids may have watched Little Krishna, right? Playing and playing. They didn't think about it. They had all these lunch packs, Mother Yasoda. All the gopis had made wonderful lunch packs. All sorts of delicacies, but they forgot about it. They were so absorbed in their play. They wouldn't eat. So Yoga Maya arranges every now and again a demon comes to break their play. And then after that they, we're hungry, we're tired now. Have we got anything to eat? Okay, there we go. Ah, great, all the lunch packs come out, all the breakfast packs, they all come out. Brahma said Krishna would generally kill 1 or 2 demons every day before prasadam. We have to kill a few demons before prasadam, but maybe not that kind of demon. We have to kill the demons in our hearts. Huh? We have plenty of agasuras in our hearts, don't worry, there's no shortage of them. Dhanakasuras and all these different demons, Putanas and Trinavartas and Shakatasuras and Keshi demons. There's so many demons in our hearts, all different types of, sometimes nasty thoughts. Certainly thoughts about not surrendering to Krishna, that's for sure. In our minds, sense gratification. So anyway, Brahma's watching all this, and what does Krishna do? Suddenly he sits down on the bank of the river. Who knows? That's a difficult question, boys. Which river? Huh? Yamuna! Well done, sir. The river Yamuna. And sat there having a fun again. The fun begins. Now it's fun with prasadam.
Sit down.
Are you okay there?
Yeah.
Problems?
No.
Maybe a demon suddenly arrived at the door. Is that, I can't see it. Is that Gauranga bringing the message? Kana, Gauranga, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's bringing a message there. Be careful. Might be, somebody may come in the front in a minute. You might see a Keshi demon come pounding. Oh, that's Dhanakasura. Kick us out the window or something. So Krishna sat there, having a great time, and they're playing like boys do. And if everyone thought Krishna's God, it wouldn't be much fun, would it? Imagine, young boys. Oh, he's God. Everybody's shivering and shaking, reverential. No, there's no such thought. Krishna's just another one of the gang. He's one of our gang. He's a good one. He's a nice one of the gang. They all like him. They're all looking at him. And when they sat there, everybody can see Krishna. It's funny, isn't it? He's sat there in one place, and every boy thinks he's looking at them. How does that work? Is he like spinning round like a... so fast that you don't even notice it, No. This is Krishna's Aishvarya Bhav, this mystic potency. Everyone could see him simultaneously. Just like in the Rasa dance, everyone thought they were Krishna's with me alone. Everyone's with me. Same thing in the Jagannath Rath Yatra. Krishna was with everyone simultaneously. Everyone thought he was looking at me. This is the mystic potency of the Lord. He's not an ordinary living entity, not conditioned like we are, localized. So he may be localized, but he's everywhere also. Even as Paramatma we can't see. But even in this Bhagavan form or his Krishna form, everyone was seeing him looking at that. They all thought, Krishna's personally looking at me. So every boy was having a personal, and there were more than 2 or 3 boys. How many boys were there? How many? I don't even know if the figure, it said millions of boys. Millions. And they had billions of calves. And the cows were all out grazing and having great fun, looking for new, you know how it is, they're looking for some fresh grass here and there. They're all looking for, actually there. Some of them are said that they're actually tied up, but nonetheless they're looking for fresh grass here and there in the forest nearby. Big forests. All this is mystical. It's not within the dimension of our measure, the three-dimensional world that we're in. This is on a different dimension altogether. Anyway, Krishna's having great fun there, and they're stealing sometimes. If you look at your next door neighbor, You know, different boys have different proclivities, and some like to eat the sweet first, you know. Get the best first, right? You might not live long enough otherwise. Get the best first while you can, right? And then you see on your next door neighbours, the boy's the other way round, so he's eating the, you know, maybe the rice first or something. So, whilst he's not looking, you snatch the gulab. Hey, where's my gulab gone? I didn't pinch it. Never said you did. I said, where's it gone? Give me my gulab. No. I told the story sometimes. I saw this happening in London when I first joined the temple. Maybe a few months after joining, you know, it was fun, it was play. One day at the Sunday Love Feast. They were really good feasts in those days. Really, really special. You know the story, I told it, didn't I? A few weeks ago, maybe. And it was a really special feast. They always used to cook, really, I mean, really, everything had to be just pukka. Everything had to be pukka. The puras had to be pukka, like balloons and hot and soft. No ghee on them. You cook them in ghee, but because they're properly rolled and not too fat and they're cooked at the right temperature, the ghee just flop. But they have such a succulent taste. The samosas the same, crispy and crackly with beautiful fillings inside. Everything was pukka. The halwa was like exploding with, you know, hot, like it was almost like erupting in the pot, you know. Perfect, you know, beautiful halwa, and then, you know, there'd be gulabs like, you know, they were like, you know, jellyfish kind of floating. They're so sweet and tasty and fully through, you know, just like, it was in Melbourne, I think, when he was entertaining some scientists who came there. And then after the program, Prabhupada said, give them prasadam, and they brought gulabs. So one of the generals dressed in a pukka suit and everything, you know. And he didn't know what it was, he took it, and he bit into it. Covered in juice. Prabhupada said nothing, you know. I was looking at his suit covered in juice. Just don't bite into a gulab, you know. It's the last thing you do. You have to at least cut it with a spoon if you can't eat the whole thing. You know, he didn't know the secret of gulabs. He soon found out. I don't know if he ever took one again. But and anyway, the feast was just amazing. Amazing. It was cooked by a boy named Jai Hari. Jai Hari was a Muslim by birth, but he was the best cook you could imagine. He was Pakistani. Became a full-time devotee in London. We had two of them, Sarva Surit and Jayari. They were both expert cooks. I guess they were coming from, you know, tradition. Really good cook. But he wouldn't cook very much. He was always a little bit less than, you know. I mean, the rice was plenty. The sabjis were usually plenty. The dal, if there was dal, was plenty. The dal in those days was not just ordinary dal. Even the dal was like, the rice wasn't ordinary rice. It would always be like minimum pushpan rice, with curd balls in there and fried coconut strips and raisins and little spicing and ghee and it was just like you could just eat the pushpan rice. That was just ecstasy. Anyway, you know, we were young brahmacharis. Everybody loved the way that when we heard Gurjari was cooking, everyone was very quick to try, eager to get into the front of the queue. They would lock the prasadam room door. We'd all have to be outside. It was like a rugby scrum. It was just like a Bombay ticket office in the old days. You queue up for 5 hours. I did that in Bombay one time. I got there at 5 o'clock in the morning. They told me you better get there early if you want a ticket. So I got there at 5 o'clock in the morning, fairly close to the front of the queue. Waiting, 9 o'clock the door's open. And I found myself at the back of the queue in 5 minutes. Tsunami of people are pushing, shoving, bashing, crashing to get into the office itself. You know. So it's a bit like that, you know. And I was like at the back of the queue as soon as we got into it wasn't a very big room. We only had 20 voters. And we got in, and I was at the back of the queue, and there's the boy named, you don't know his name again, his name was Janananda. He was in front of me, one or two in front. And we're queuing up, and some servings going on, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 preparations, whatever it was. And so, sure enough, we were looking and we saw, there was like 6 people still left. There's only like 3 samosas left, 3 gulab jamans, things like that. We're getting down to 0, And then Janananda was he was a prasadam addict. He was a real fanatic for prasadam. He was like really getting irritated. Really irritated. And you get this in queues sometimes when you realize if you go to the Russian embassy to get a visa or something, you have to wait 2 days. They only take, they'll probably change now, but they were only taking like 50 people a day. There's always at least 500 in the queue. People camp out overnight in sleeping bags and tents outside the embassy to get in. It's bizarre. Bizarre. Anyway, it was like this was getting shorter and shorter. And then he got right to the end of the queue, just the person before him. Whoa, the last gulab, the last samosa went out. And he was saying, oh, where's my samosa? Where's my gulab? Trinada, the service said, Trinada peace inichi. Aurora peace Hishtuna Prabhu. Lord Chaitanya said you had to be humble and tolerant. This is not fair. I bet you've got one, haven't you? He said to the server. The servers would save their plates. And they would hide them. There was a cardboard boxes over the plates that were serving them. He said, I bet you've got one on your plate, haven't you? He said, mind your own business. Said, is that your box over there? Keep your hands off. He went, pop, knocked the box flying. 6 gulabs, 4 samosas. Give me one of those. No. Take your hands off. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. They were rolling across the floor in loving exchanges. Incredible. I was amazed. It was quite entertaining. And the server won the battle. Poor fellow. Anyway, so enthusiasm for prasadam. So they were having fun too, taking prasadam on the banks of the Jamuna. And they were playing games, stealing each other's lunch packs, stealing the gulabs, whatever it was, throwing them at each other. Open your mouth. Whoo! Here, take a samosa. Close your eyes, here's a samosa. They put a marigold in their mouth. We used to play tricks like that. You see, like samosas, sometimes you put something other than the stuffing in one of the back. At the back, you put some flour inside it or something, rose or something else, And you'd be all excited, and then, or in the pakora, pakora. Oh, the pakoras, cauliflower pakoras. What an experience! My first, the first cauliflower pakora I ever had. It wasn't the first, actually, to tell. Maybe it was. Maybe actually. I don't think so. Maybe. Anyway, I went to Birmingham. If ever you've heard of Birmingham. And it was, I just went on an off day. There was no one. The only devotee there was Sabag. You may have heard of Sabag Swami. You heard of Sabag Swami? Has he come to Melbourne?
He's coming soon.
He came? He's coming?
Yeah.
Coming, came?
No, he's never.
He came a few times?
Yeah.
To Melbourne. Okay. So he's coming again?
Yes, Maharaj.
You're saying yes? You're
June.
saying he hasn't been, she's saying he has been. You're saying he's coming, you're saying he's not coming. And you're saying he's coming.
He came 2 times, but after that he didn't come.
And is he coming again?
He's coming in June, Maharaj.
He's coming in June! Yay! Whoa. He probably doesn't remember this. Because I was a hippie at that time, hair down to my waist. He was a brahmachari. He became a full-time devotee in London, and he was in Birmingham, helping with the program there. And that day, the temple president and his wife had blooped. You know what that means? They left. They'd gone off somewhere. No one knows where they went. They disappeared and they left the keys behind. They said, you're in charge now. They left a note saying, Sabag Prabhu, you're in charge now. And he was a very shy little fellow. Real shy brahmachari. And I came and he was a little bit shocked when I came to the door seeing this long-haired white hippie coming in. He's a real sophisticated, little bit cultured Bengali boy, in those days. And he let me in, and we went in, and I sat in the front room. There were 2 little rooms, one in the back, one in the front. The one in the front was the little temple room. I'd already been to the temple in London a few times, so I was a little familiar. And the back room was, I don't know what it was, because I hadn't been in there. Anyway, it was another room. And he left me there, and I was sat there alone for quite some time. He was in the back. No one talked to me. No one else was there. And then a couple of Indian people came in, and then he disappeared and probably went to the back room too. And that was that. And then I sat there, and after a while he came in and he said, "Can you help me?" I said, "What do you want to do?" He bought me this bowl of cotton wool, you know. And he said, "Can you do this?" And he never explained what it was. I don't know, it disappeared so quickly, I didn't even have time to ask him what I'm doing. He just showed me how to, you know, pull the wool apart, make a little ball, put it in there, twist it round, roll it round, and blah, blah, blah. And I was making all these fun, you know, what the heck am I doing? Is this a joke or what, you know? Such a ridiculous thing to ask someone to do, you know, without explaining what it is. You know? It's really weird, you know. All these little cotton balls, you know. Like kiwi, you know what they are, they're kiwis, but I didn't know what they were. They were just cotton balls with a little tail on the end. Funny, like little shrimps, like big shrimps, you know. It's weird. What's he doing with these? And he came in after a while, and so I made some. They probably weren't very good. He said, "Oh, thanks," and he took them away to the back. And then after a while, he came back in again and said, "Come. Took me in the back. He said, "You're prasadam?" Some prasadam. And he had cauliflower pakoras, quite small ones. And I got a bit suspicious, you know. Because the cauliflower pakoras, you know, you make cauliflower pakoras kind of round with a little tail on the end. I looked at this thing and said, "No, come on, take. Oh my God, I bit into it. I went, oh my God, I looked at it, it was white inside. Oh my God, this is cotton wool, fried cotton. What do these people eat? What's going on? You can imagine, you put two and two together and that's what you're going to come up with. And I said, "Is this cotton wool I've just been rolling next door?" I said, No, cauliflower. I kind of looked at it again and touched it and I didn't realize it. Oh, it's not cotton wool. It's cauliflower, it's like soft. But your mind thinks like that, you know. We make so many concocted ideas, you know, in our mind about things. Anyway, Lord Brahma started concocting some ideas in his mind, and he started thinking a little doubtful about what was going on down there. Wait a minute. This is my Lord. Is it really my Lord? That he's stealing prasadam from another coward boy and pushing it in his mouth? And what's going on here? Is this God? Because he's in Aishwarya Bhav, he's in reverence. Whereas Krishna's not in, the pastime of the coward boys is not at all reverential. There's no reverence at all. It's just even Stephen made, you know. I'll beat you up, Krishna, if you don't give me that back. I'm going to beat you. They talk to each other like this, you know. Sridham, come and get it. Sridham's the strong boy amongst the coward boys. He's the tough guy. He beats Krishna sometimes. Fighting. He's strong. Come on! He stole my gulab, Sridham! Please, get it back! Whoa! Krishna, get word. They play each other just even Stephen. So look at him, what is this? What type of God is this? He's looking down. He was thinking that. But then at the same time, he's more, because he's also playing a part. They're all playing parts. These great associates of the Lord. You have to play the part according to the part's need. So reverence is the part of Lord Brahma. Even if he is a pure Lord, he has to behave like Brahma is supposed to behave. So then he thought, well, now let me see. I have to do something now to prove to everybody that this is my Lord. That he is the supreme, beyond and above me, and beyond and above Lord Shiva. I'm going to do something now which will cause Krishna to perform pastimes even more remarkable than what he's already done. That thought came in his mind, simultaneously almost. So he is thinking in this terms, I will now show that my mystic power is the greatest. So he thought of something by the arrangement of the voice. Maya, power. Yoga Maya. Maya also was a play. And he thought, let me teach a lesson and just show how great I am. So he decided he would steal the calves and the coward boys, and he made a plot. The calves were out there in the pasturing grounds in the forest, and suddenly Lord Brahma took them all away. And what did he do with them? He was powerful. He put them all in caves. Hid them in the caves. And meanwhile, the cowboys were very absorbed in their enjoying pastimes. But then suddenly was Krishna, the calves have disappeared. They've gone deep in the forest. Where have they gone? You have to find them. Because that was their life and soul, the calves. So then Krishna said, don't worry, you stay here. Enjoy your pastimes. I will bring them all back. So, okay. They all carried on. Krishna went into the forest, looked here, the hills, the mountains, everywhere. Nowhere could he find the calves. After a while he came back. Couldn't find them, boys. Came back, the boys were not there anymore. Oh, what to do? What to do, he thought. Lord Brahma's trying to play some tricks. Okay, we'll play a trick on him. So then what did Krishna do? Bigger and bigger and bigger? Bigger and bigger? Oh, so big. What did he do? What type of expansion? It wasn't that type of expansion. There are different types of expansions. I can't remember. Chalikapma, this one, Vaibhav, Prakash. There's all different names, I can't remember. But this is one type of expansion. What was that? He didn't expand himself like he does sometimes equally, like in the rasa dance. They were all looking exactly the same. Each form of Krishna was exactly the same, looked the same. But in this case, he expanded differently. What did he do? He expanded in identical forms of each and every one of those millions of coward boys. Not only that, but the subtle expansion was there. Their mental nature, everything about them was identical, except that they were Krishna himself now. And then he thought, I can't really go back to Vrindavan without the coward boys and the cows. What would the mothers and cows think? They'll come back. Where's all our boys? Oh, don't worry, they sort of disappeared somewhere. Don't worry about it, mums. Don't worry, don't be attached. What? Millions of mothers, millions of fathers and no kids? Oh, what are they going to do? It's life and soul. That was the plan. That was Agasura's plan. Get rid of all the kids, everything's finished in Vrindavan. That was Indra's, everyone's plan. They think I got something. So, thus, consequently, I can't do that. So he expanded himself into Vrindavan. They did go. But it's all Krishna. They look the same, but then Krishna's fulfilling the desires of every living entity. Yes, sir? Because all of the gopas and gopis and the cows were all thinking, oh, if only I could have Krishna as my son, my calf. They were thinking. Now their desire is fulfilled. They actually have Krishna as their son. They don't even know it. But their attraction to their own son was just as if it was Krishna himself. They didn't know why. Again, Yogamaya keeps everyone a little bit bewildered. So that was going on for a whole year. They were having a great time. Everyone's happy. Pastime going on. So Lord Brahma, after one moment, he thought, oh no, I think I'm playing with fire. He did one moment in his life, he just quickly turned around to see what's going on. 1 year of the earth planet, on the earth planet. He looked round and what did he see? There was Krishna on the banks of the Jamuna doing exactly the same thing as he was a year before. He thought, what's going on here? They escaped? They've all escaped from the caves? What's going on? They couldn't look in the cave? No, they're all still there. They seem to be fast asleep. What's going on here? I don't understand this. Millions. Not just one or two, millions. All just as nothing happened. Nobody knew. Only Balaram by this time had realized what was going on. But no one else had realized. Even Balaram for most of the year was bewildered over what was going on. He wasn't there when Krishna was on the bank of the Yamuna. But then he realized after a while. That's another story. So Lord Brahma was thinking, what the heck's going on here? So Krishna could see Brahma was looking a little bit perplexed. So he thought, okay, I'll bring his perplexity or his bewilderment to an end. Boom! All of a sudden, because Brahma's in Aishvarya Bhav. That means Narayan. Dun, dun, da, da, da. Nice music for the scene. Brahma was what's going on? I'm bewildered. Boom! All the coward boys transform on the cloud into four-armed forms of Narayan. Ah! If Brahma was bewildered before, he was really blown. His mind was blown. To see all these little boys suddenly turning into majestic four-armed forms of Narayan. Imagine how he felt. Can't imagine. All of it, any thought that this is not my Lord, was completely devastated on the spot. He completely overwhelmed. And then not only that, but he saw Brahmas and Shivas coming from all over the place, worshipping the different forms, unaware of the other forms. It's just inconceivable what he was seeing. Inconceivable. And then Krishna suddenly withdrew his mystic show. And there he was, a little boy, on the banks of the Jamuna, looking for his cows and his coward boy. And Brahma then fell at his feet and begged for his forgiveness and offered his prayers to the Lord. So this wonderful pastime of Lord Brahma is the prelude to the pastimes of which we just mentioned, because there he tried to interfere with the lunch of the coward boys, isn't it? He tried to stop it. He thought, I'm going to play some mischief here. Now, after that pastime, Krishna forgave him, accepted his prayers, etc., etc. A lot of things going on. What happened to the action? Where were the real coward? The real coward boys? Usually we hear, and that's perfect. Another perfect. Dong, 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 dong. What happened to the real ones? Were they really in the caves? No, they were not in the caves. What happened was Maya, Mahamaya in this case, first it was Yogamaya, now it's Mahamaya. Yogamaya. Now Mahamaya has come into play, and she, on the request of Krishna, has made duplicate forms of every single calf and coward boy. They look exactly identical. Those are the ones that Brahma locked up in the caves. He did not touch the real ones at all. How can he? How can one in Aishwarya Bhav? Lakshmi cannot enter into Vrindavan. She's in Aishwarya Bhav. How can Brahma in Aishwarya Bhav enter into Vrindavan? He cannot. He can't touch those boys. They are the eternal associates of the Lord. Their bodies are not material. He cannot touch them. So Krishna arranged Maya Devi, Mahamaya, to duplicate identical forms which he stole and locked up. The real ones didn't even know a second passed. You were back so quick, Krishna, for the pasturing grounds. They didn't even know that he'd gone. The year had passed like that. They didn't even know. They thought, oh, he's back already, and all the cows are there. They didn't even know. They were just still there. It's like time stopped. And they were still there. They didn't move an inch, basically speaking. Everything was just as it was a year before. So this is all unknown to everyone, practically speaking, of Lord Balaram, who by this time knew what was going on. This is a mystic play. So after that, Lord Brahma thought, I better do something about this. It's like after Indra. After Indra, what did Indra do? He got up to some real mischief, didn't he? What did he do? He didn't just try to steal the lunch, steal the boys away and lock them up. He tried to kill them. His motive was to kill them all, right? I'm going to kill them all. They offended me. They deserve to be punished. He was pretty heavy. He went right in there, full force. Of course, he was perfect for Lord Indra. And he was completely defeated. And he was totally, he felt so bad after 7 days of failure. And he realized, his own spiritual master came to him and said, look boy, you've made a really big mistake here. You're playing with fire. You're finished. It's going to come any minute. Your reign's over. It's all over for you, boy. He made the biggest blunder you could ever think of. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Brihaspati said, I don't know. The only thing you can do, you better go to Lord Brahma. Please, he also did something funny some time ago. He might be able to help you out of your dilemma. Go and ask him. So he did. He went to ask Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma said, sorry, my friend. I can't help you. I stole a few cows. You tried prayers and being forgiven and so on. He was feeling so bad. He thought, I gotta do something to make sure this never ever happens again. So he went to the holy Dham. He went to Navadvip, which is not just a little place in Bengal. The Dham of Navadvip, which manifests the pure devotees, is always present. So he went there to perform austerity because he knows that Navadvip Dham is, what happens in Navadvip? Whereas Vrindavan is Madhurya Bhav, what is Navadvip? Audharya. The place where you can be forgiven, where offences are not taken into account. So he went there and he performed great austerities. Great austerities. And eventually, due to his austerities, the Lord appeared. And he fell at the Lord's feet and he begged the Lord, please, I beg you, please, may you do somehow or another allow me to take birth in a situation where I be completely free of any trace of pride. May I be born in a lowly family. And it so happened the Lord said, well, in my next appearance, that is my purpose, to show that anybody, no matter how we are, who we are, where we're born, can come to the perfect platform of pure devotional service. So I request you, I want you to take birth in the families of meat eaters in this next lifetime. He was, in other words, it satisfied Lord Brahma's desire. And he said, the Lord personally initiated it. He personally initiated it. In the next form I will come as Gauranga, and he said, you will be one of my chief assistants. Your name will be Haridas, and you will chant 300,000 names a day. He was initiated by Krishna. Sometimes people ask. He gave him the initiation there and then in Navadvip, way before he appeared. So, of course, it's another story about who's who and how they become who. But when the Lord appeared, Haridas Thakur appeared 37 years in Buron, which is in present-day Bangladesh, not so far over the border, but he appeared about 36 or 37 years before, Lord's plan. And many of the pastimes of the Lord, of Haridas Thakur, took place before Mahaprabhu's appearance. He was there, born in a Muslim family. As a young boy, he went to the forest of Benapal and he began chanting 3 lakhs of names. He'd never met Mahaprabhu. There's no indication, it may have been, but there's no indication that he met any, pure Vaishnavas. He may well have done, but there's no indication in the biographies and the recollections, etc. But he was chanting 3 lakhs of names there in that forest. And that, of course, is where Ramchandra Khan sent Hirabai, the prostitute. She was Lakpati. She was a Lakbai. You had to pay 100,000 rupees to enjoy with her. She was the most expensive of the beautiful girls, so to speak. Anyway, you know that story. He wasn't tempted. He carried on chanting non-stop. This is a secret which he taught. Keep chanting. Yes, my dear lady. She would come every night to try to tempt him, revealing her private parts, practically speaking. He was not disturbed. He said, I will satisfy all your desires, but I have made a vow to chant 1 billion names in this month. I have not yet finished my vow. When I have finished my vow, then please, I will satisfy all your desires. Remember this pastime. Use this tactic when you're chanting your rounds. Yes, my dear material desires, I know you're my best friends, but I'm a little busy right now. I've got an appointment. I've made a vow to chant 16 rounds. When I finish my vow, then I will satisfy you. Don't worry. Come back after 2 hours, or whatever it is. You use this tactic. And after finishing 16 rounds, you're not in, by that time, you're strong enough not to become victimized. So like that. He was not and then after that pastime of 3 days and 3 nights, she became completely purified. She surrendered to Haridas Thakur. I surrender at your lotus feet. Please deliver me. He said, I only stayed here because it's simply to deliver you. I would have left before you came. I knew exactly what was going on, he said. But because I knew you were coming, it was my duty to deliver you. Now you stay here and chant 3 lakhs. She stayed there, shaved up, gave everything away and chanted 3 lakhs and stayed there, and he left. I had a long pastime. He went off here and there. Chandapur, this place, that place, the place of Hiranya Govardhan Majumdar. There he Bhagavanacharya, the priest, and he had that big debate about the glories of the holy name. And then there was a Gopal Chakravarti, the rather proud, Brahmanically born young man who was employed by Govardhan Majumdar as one of their servants, not servants, exactly one of their secretaries basically. He was a very beautiful young man. Challenged Haridas Thakur, what is this nonsense? This man comes here, born of a low-class family, and he starts talking all some sentimental rubbish about chanting Hare Krishna. Even in Namabas, one can gain liberation. This is rubbish. According to the Vedas, this takes many lifetimes. You have to become a Brahmin. After many lifetimes of purification and study the Vedas and perform austerities. You cannot do it so easily like this. And he's talking like this. Do you believe him? And he's born in a Muslim family. You believe this? Nonsense. He was going on and on. Haridas was totally undisturbed. Some entertainment maybe going on here. And they don't think nothing of it. You don't know. He quoted many Shastric verses saying that by Namabas you can easily attain liberation. Who wants liberation anyway? But you can attain it by Namabas. It's not pure chanting, by accidental chanting. Anyway, the fellow wasn't convinced. Immediately it goes, he heard this, Govardhan, when Hiranya and Govardhan heard this, Bhagavan, get out of here, go away! They dismissed him. Poor fellow got leprosy the next day, his nose fell off. He actually threatened Haridas. He said, if it's not true what you say, you low-class man, that you can gain liberation by Namabas, I will cut off your nose, he said to Haridas. Haridas said, my dear sir, if it's not possible to gain liberation by Namabas, I'll cut my own nose off. You don't have to waste your time. I'll cut my own nose off, he said. Don't worry. Ah, I was screaming, get out. Kicked this Gopal Chakravarti out. And his own nose melted a day or two later. Fell off. His fingers fell off. Toe. He did get later on the mercy. And the mercy of Lord Chaitanya was also delivered. But he had to suffer for the offences. So anyway, it goes on. A lot of other pastimes, the famous pastime of his, when he met Advaitacharya, they became close friends. And they were together before Mahaprabhu appeared in the world. They were together when he appeared. They both took bath in the Ganga together. They were praying for the Lords together to appear in this world. So many of the pastimes of Haridas took place before the Lord appeared in the world. And we don't know, the history doesn't say before or after, but when he was arrested, because of the local Qazi, the envious Qazi, had him arrested, and the Nawab sentenced him to be beaten to death. Of course, during that pastime, Haridas Thakur was totally, he tried to kill him. One of the punishments they would inflict upon Hindus, offenders, he was a Muslim born, so that was his offense, but he became a Hindu. So for such a punishment, he was to be whipped in marketplace after marketplace. 26 marketplaces, and he still wasn't dead. Normally after 2, you're dead. Heavy beating. They drag you and whip you in the way. Marketplace. He was simply smiling and chanting. Hare Krishna, like Prahlad Maharaj. This was Prahlad Maharaj. Described the biographers and so on described that he was actually, this time this was Prahlad Maharaj present in Haridas Thakur. Lord Brahma could not tolerate it. Haridas Thakur. Prahlad Maharaj appeared. He was, as we know, a similar thing, punished, tortured by his father. So they were torturing him again. And this time he was just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, and smiling. Imagine how it is, you're trying to punish someone and they're smiling at you. It's pretty frustrating, isn't it? You're trying to make someone suffer and they're smiling at you. How are you going to feel? You're not, you know. And then the guards, the Muslim guards, they were really getting in anxiety because the Nawab could get quite cruel sometimes. And they knew that if they didn't do their job, their heads could be on the block. They could get punished. They were really dead and they were exhausted. After 26 marketplaces, they ran out of places to go on their Sankirtan. Oh no, their place is Sankirtan. You know, somebody said, I've been everywhere. What to do? I don't know what to do. Haridas. Oh no. Haridas said, what's wrong? He said, Haridas. Haridas. Because we're not able to kill you, we may be killed. I said, why didn't you tell me earlier? Why didn't you tell me? If my living causes you pain, then let me die. I don't want to cause you any suffering. Whatever you've done, I don't want any suffering to become of you. He was thinking like that all the time. Let them not be punished. Please have mercy upon them. He was thinking all the time like this. They were trying to beat him to death. For no reason. The Hindus were trying to stop them. All pious people, they were just beating them away. They couldn't do anything. And he was just thinking of their welfare. He wasn't thinking, if I ever survive this, in this life or the next, I'll get my own back on these people. That's how a normal mind would think. He wasn't. He was just thinking how to show them love, complete love and compassion towards them. And so he said, okay, I'll die. And he just went into intense samadhi, and to all intents and purposes, he was dead. We did it! We did it! They thought, we beat him, we killed him! And back they went, we did it! Here it is! And they will bear throw. This now, okay. Now I've said, bury him. Now I've had some affection actually for Haridas. He didn't really want to do it. He was forced by the other Qazis who insisted that they voted and said he should. So he had a little affection. So bury him. The chief Qazi said, no. This is not the Chan Qazi. Qazi means local, magistrate type of person. He said, no. He's such a wicked, vile person he doesn't deserve to go to heaven by being buried like all the other Muslims. He said he should be thrown in the Ganga so they could go to hell with all the Hindus. So they did. They couldn't move him. He was at that point he became immovable. But eventually he agreed. They moved him. Many dozens of men moved him with chains and balls, threw him into the Ganga. Now, you can read this in Chaitanya Bhagavat. It's interesting. This is another aspect of who is Haridas Thakur. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, you can read that Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are praying for the opportunity to have the association of Haridas Thakur. So what does that mean? It doesn't seem to compute. That Lord Brahma became Haridas Thakur. He's praying that may I have Haridas Thakur's association. Praying. And Gangadev is praying, if only, because Haridas he would take that, but she was thinking, only if I could embrace Haridas Thakur in my waters, how happy I would be. My life would become perfect. So now she had the chance. She embraced him in her waters and carried him all the way back to Puglia, where he was living in a cave-like dwelling. And she returned him there. She safely put him back on the banks. All the chains came off, and he walked back into his cave-like dwelling and carried on chanting 3 lakhs of names. When the Nawab found out, he was astonished. He came there and fell at his feet and begged him for forgiveness. And he said, you can do anything you like in my kingdom. Nobody will impede you from this day. You are a saint. He glorified him like anything. Qazi and his men, that's another thing. But the Nawab became a follower of Haridas, practically. There you go, soft. So anyway, that carried on. And then after a while, after Lord Chaitanya came in the world in his pastimes, one day, because Haridas wasn't known to anyone practically except for Advaita Acharya. They were in Shantipur, Pulias on the Shantipur side. So when Lord Chaitanya started manifesting his Sankirtan pastimes, Haridas Thakur started to come with Advaita. And they were right in the middle of it. Nobody knew who this Haridas was, except for 1 or 2. So shortly after, Lord Chaitanya performed his Mahaprakash pastimes in the house of Srivas Thakur. Is Srivas Thakur here? He was in class this morning. So he started performing his Mahaprakash pastimes. And at that time, Lord Chaitanya was then calling up each and every devotee, glorifying every devotee, and revealing the particular form that they loved the Lord in, whether it is, whatever their mood was in relationship with the Lord. He would reveal himself in that way to them, so all their desires were satisfied. They were convinced that Lord Chaitanya is my Lord. He's the Lord of everyone. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he would give everyone a boon. You ask for whatever you want. Whatever you want from me. Some of them were asking, may all my family members become pure devotees? Different questions, different booms they were asking. May I be eternally engaged in serving your devotees, whatever it was. So then Lord Chaitanya called out Haridas Thakur. Nobody really knew much about him. They knew he was a devotee, he was right in the middle. But nobody knew much about him. And then Lord Chaitanya said, you remember that time, Haridas, when you were being beaten in the marketplaces? Do you remember that? Nobody knew this pastime. Nobody. Maybe it waited. Nobody else knew about it. They didn't have internet and mobiles in those days where, it was like, there was no newspapers, it was like, news only spread by word of mouth. And somehow or another, this may have happened a long time ago. It may have been like 40 years, whatever, before. It may have been a long time ago. There's no chronological record. Many of them not even been born. So nobody really knew about it. So then Lord Chaitanya started telling that pastime of how he was whipped in the marketplaces. And how he constantly chanting. Vrindavan Das Thakur said, the lesson to learn from this pastime is Nirantara Namalam. You never stop chanting in any situation. You must be accompanied by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You never stop chanting. That was the secret. So at that point, Haridas, when that Nala did what he did, I sent my Sudarshan Chakra there immediately to sever all of their heads. But you would not allow him to move an inch. You couldn't go near any of them. Because you were just praying, please, may they not be punished, but they may receive mercy. So my Sudarshan could do nothing. Couldn't touch those gods. They were the Nala's men. They were also relieved. He couldn't touch them. So Sudarshan was just hovering there, what to do? Eventually he just went back to the Lord. And the Lord said, what could I do? He said, I didn't have any choice. I had to come there myself. And the Lord said, I came there myself. And I placed my back on your back. And then the Lord turned around in the house of Srivas Thakur. And he showed everyone his own back. Everyone saw whip marks all over the Lord's back. Everyone was astonished. Completely astonished to see this, the Lord, how he protected Haridas. He was not an ordinary person. He wasn't in Aishwarya Bhav. He was in the highest form of love of God. That's why he's a Namacharya, the Yuga Dharma, the most intimate form of the Lord. He's the Namacharya, the most intimate servant of that form of the Lord. So the Lord personally protected him to show this. The Lord protects his devotee, in this case, different ways. Haridas would protect him simply by chanting Hare Krishna, even if he was being beaten. But the Lord tolerated him, protected him like that. And then the Lord asked him, ask for me, Haridas, anything you wish. And Haridas Thakur said, my only desire, my Lord, is that I may live forever by having the privilege of accepting the remnants of your devotees. So that's why this pastime linked up. Because it's in the forest of Vrindavan, in the banks of Yamuna, linked with this one. And in Jagannath Puri, when Lord Chaitanya was feasting with the devotees after he returned from South India, Haridas would always stay at a distance and only take the remnants. But every single day in Jagannath Puri, Lord Chaitanya would come personally to his house to see him. He put him in a little cottage we call Sittabako, famous place, not far from Kashinishwar's house where Mahaprabhu was staying. And every day Mahaprabhu would come and see him. He couldn't go into the temple. The Lord, in the form of Mahaprabhu, would come and see him every day. He would spend time every day chanting together. When Rupa and Sanatan would come in, they would stay with Haridas. They wouldn't go into the temple either. Our acharyas did not go into the Jagannath temple. Rupa and Sanatan. They also consider themselves unqualified. They're our acharyas. It's nothing. Don't get into it. It's not a big issue. Krishna's mercy. We can just take shelter of the real essence of Lord Jagannath. His mercy. To shower his mercy on the whole world. And his desire, and that of Parvati, is that everyone in the universe should get prasadam. Everybody. And I guess you're getting hungry right now. We could go on till late night, but we're just jumping a few pastimes. But Lord Parvati was determined, angry. When she didn't get the Mahaprasadam of her Lord Narayan, she She was fuming. She was about to destroy the universe. She was so angry. She went to her Adi Shakti form. She was fuming. If I don't see that everyone, even the lowest of the lowest creatures, gets the opportunity to get Mahaprasadam, I will destroy the universe. And the Lord appeared and said, oh, he had no choice. So he appeared as Lord Jagannath to fulfill that purpose. The Lord Jagannath's Prasadam goes out. Even today, of course, we have the job, we have the great fortune to take that Jagannath Prasadam all over the world. Whereas it only goes out in Puri and wherever people take it beyond Puri. But every day, truckload after truckload of Prasadam goes out from the temple in Puri. Of Prasadam. It's going everywhere, all around the local area. It's fantastic. Now our good fortune is that we can take that same principle everywhere to try to see that everyone in the world gets Prasadam. Everyone, no matter who they are. No matter who they are, distribute Prasadam everywhere. And the holy name. Lord Chaitanya's mood is to spread the holy name to every town and village. We take this man. This is our good fortune. This is the mood of Haridas Thakur. Let the holy name be spread all over the universe. That was Haridas Thakur's business and his desire. He was also preaching intensely on behalf of Lord Chaitanya, the holy names. But his main preaching, as you know, was by following the instruction to chant incessantly the holy names, never stopping. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anyway, it's probably, is it 2 o'clock yet? It's 2. Lord Chaitanya said, Haridas Thakur, you are my eternal associate. Whenever I expand, you expand with me to assist me in my pastimes. I'll leave it up to you to work that one out. Interesting, isn't it? Lord Brahma became Haridas. Sometimes it's a little confusing. If we have the same situation, you could say, with Yasoda and Devaki. Did someone become Devaki by performing austerity? By their will they became Yasoda? No. It's described, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes that Mother Yasoda expands as Dara. And then when the time comes, she merges back into her form. It's not that. You understand? It's an expansion of the original. Becomes the practitioner to attain that form. But just to show how we can develop that particular mood, that pure mood. And sometimes it's understood it's to get the association of Haridas. Lord Brahma wants his association. To become purified of any feeling of pride. By the association of these great personalities, eternal associates of the Lord, one can become purified of pride. Purified of any kind of anarchy, association, whoever it may be. But by that association, if Brahma has any impurity, he becomes purified from that association. So whichever way you look at it, it's an amazing story, whether it's Haridas Thakur, one of his expansions to assist the Lord is at that particular time with Lord Brahma, or whether Lord Brahma comes to get the association of Haridas, or just becomes Haridas. Either way, it's completely amazing. Whichever it is. Amazing pastimes of Haridas Thakur. So many lessons to be learned from Haridas's service to the Lord, to the Holy One, and to the devotees. Namachari Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prabhupada ki Jai, Lord Premanandi. Okay, we'll start reading the book now, isn't it? It takes about 12 hours. We have to go, we have business to the temple and other places. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
About the prime symptom of love of God. 3 times Srila Prabhupada said the prime symptom of love of God. 3 times he said it. Is the one wants to see the Lord's holy name spread everywhere. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,